Gonna start with the usual question. Where were you guys when you heard the news about being traded for each of you?
Well, I think me and Caris were somewhere in the same vicinity. I was in DC. I was getting a massage like it was a regular day, and whenever you get a phone call from your front office at like 1 or 2 p.m. or trade deadline, you probably know it's not just to say hello and see how you're doing. But with that being said, I think I talked to Caris about it earlier. When you get over the initial shock of like, this is happening, you look at Atlanta and the opportunity that this presents. I think this is, just speaking for myself, but maybe these guys, that this is a great opportunity for us to, I think all of us have won at extreme levels at different places, and this is a great opportunity for us to come in and share and expose that.
Yeah, I was similar. I was coming back from a shoot around. Same thing, got a call from Kobe, got a call from my agent. So I kind of knew what it was at that point. Like George said, it's a great opportunity. Super excited to be here with these guys and build something here. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I was at home chilling. We had a game. They were supposed to have a game yesterday. Well, I was supposed to be at the game yesterday. We didn't have a shoot around or nothing, so I was just at home. Got the call from my agent, got the call from a bunch of people just to congratulate me, so it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. My first one.
Sorry. This is a question for George. You played for Quinn before. What was that experience like, and do you anticipate that sort of easing the transition when you come in on the fly?
Yeah, it was like almost seeing like a friend you haven't seen in a couple of years. I mean, obviously the relationship that me and Quinn built over the years in Utah was extremely strong. We stayed as much as you can stay in contact without it considered being tampering, I guess. You know, I'm super excited to get back and involved with a team that's coached by him. I think I was telling someone earlier that the way he breathes confidence into his players is kind of second to none. And the way you look at basketball as being coached this day and age, he's more of a problem solver, right? You know, where he's looking at, hey, the defense is doing this or the offense is doing this. How can we solve this problem more or less than being like, oh, well, the 96 Bulls did this, so why don't we try and run floppy? So I think he's real innovative in his ways of coaching, and I think that's real beneficial to me, and I'm super excited to be back here with him.
Hey Terance, I'm Tabitha Turner, I'm your team reporter. And I worked alongside your mother one year with the Atlanta Dream when she coached with them. So I talked to her earlier today and she talked about how you're just so excited to be back on the East Coast. In your words, what does this trade do for you and how excited are you to be back?
I'm super excited. My whole family's excited. We're in the same time zone for the first time in 6 years. So everybody's excited to be able to fly in from New York and just watch me play. So it's gonna be a cool experience. I'm happy for my mom. She doesn't have to fly across the country.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Atlanta. I just wanted to ask for each of you, what are your strengths and what do you expect to bring to the team?
Well, for me, I think passion, energy, and just wanting to win every night, do whatever it takes to win. I think that's, what I always hang my hat on. That's what I've been doing since I was younger. So, that's what I'm bringing to the team.
I think for me, it's versatility, both sides of the ball. Defensively, guarding the ball, guarding pick and roll, guarding the space, being able to switch 1 through 3, 1 through 4 sometimes. And offensively, scoring, playmaking, really just doing whatever it takes. And then, bringing a level of professionalism too. It's my 9th year in the league now, 4th team now, so it's crazy I'm getting up there. But yeah, it's I think those are the things that I bring for sure.
Shooting, I would say veteran leadership. You said 4 teams. I think I made 4 or 5. One of those, if you count like 10 days or training camp deals when I was early on. But yeah, just energy, enthusiasm, bring a lighthearted joy to the group. But obviously a level of professionalism. Like we're here to win games, and I feel like that's why we were brought here.
You guys have all gotten to work with different types of point guards and who are future Hall of Famers. I'm curious, what are you looking forward to working alongside with Trae Young, and how do you hope that he can help you develop your game in a different way?
Well, I'm just happy I don't have to guard him because it seemed like every time I fouled, every time I was called up in the switch of ball screen. So I'm looking forward to being on the receiving end of those kick out threes and being able to throw my threes up when he's shooting from half court. So I think, you know, being able to play with someone that is dynamic and special as Trae is really going to be a treat, you know, for all of us. He draws a lot of attention, and I think all of us can really benefit off, you know, playing alongside him.
Yeah, I think G said it. When you play with elite players, I think it makes it easier for you on the floor. And Trae is obviously an elite player. Probably got snubbed from the All-Star game this year. He's having a great year, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to, you know, playing with another elite playmaker.
Yeah, I mean, they said it best. I think his IQ, you know, I'm excited to be alongside of that and add to that.
How y'all doing? For George and Caris, you guys are coming from a team that were first in the Eastern Conference. I guess what are some of the things that you learned from that team that you can bring to this team that's trying to get in that same kind of range in the future?
I think everyday habits are super important. I think it's something that not a lot of people look at, but just, you know, what time you get to the building every day, what time you get your treatments in, what time you get your lifts in, what time is, you know, your pregame shooting time or your pre-practice shooting time. I think all those things matter, and those were all things that we kind of, you know, took into account when we were in Cleveland. Everyone kind of bought into it, and you see where it got us. We had a very veteran group. I know this team is very young, so for us, it's just bringing that presence in.
Yeah, I think what Caris said, I mean, when he talks about everything matters, that was kind of like the motto that, you know, us older guys kind of lived by over there. And, you know, we kind of had a young core over there with Darius and Evan, and not to do comparisons or anything like that, but you look at like the young core that is here, you know, you want to lead by example. And I think being an everyday guy, not just a sometimes guy, and I think that's something that me and Caris kind of pride ourselves on. And what's given us longevity in this league is we're everyday kind of guys. We're not just, oh, we'll be here Monday and not show up Thursday. And if you could kind of show that, and the young guys can kind of see that, it usually pays off pretty well.
This one's for Terance. You were on that Clippers team that kind of bumped that Jaws team out of the playoffs.
I can't believe you just.
What are you looking forward to about working with Quinn Snyder instead of being, you know, on the other end of it?
Please give us an answer.
I mean, you know, during that year, you guys were #1 in the West, I'm pretty sure. So, just his ability.
His ability to raise turn.
His ability to really coach, I'm excited for it. You know, you saw it throughout the whole year. You know, how good of a team they were, how they were playing with confidence, like he said. Defensively, they were locked into. So, just be able to be a part of that and, you know, add to that, like I said before. But it is what it is. It's over.
Outside of Trae, do any of you guys have any relationships with the rest of the Hawks? Is there any crossing paths, any connections that any of you guys might have?
Some of the coaching staff, Ronald Norred, Coach Tone, who else? Epe, Udo too. I think those three, I have a good relationship with all three of those. I don't think I played with anyone on the team though.
Yeah, I've never played alongside, I think, anybody on the team, but the Utah staff, there's some carryover here, so I'm pretty familiar with the staff, and yeah, I think most NBA players know who each other is, so it shouldn't be too hard to make friends, like first day of school all over again.
Terance, you mentioned it's your first time being traded. How do you approach that when this is a new thing for you? And obviously, a lot of guys have been, but I know this is new for you.
Yeah, just, you know, rely on my OGs. You know, call them up. You know, see how they handle it, see what to do, what not to do, things like that. And just learn from other people's mistakes in that regard, and just take it day by day.
George, it's sort of a lighthearted question, but like, what are kind of the ins and outs of getting, like just getting traded and moving your stuff and all those sorts of things?
Yeah, I'm still going through the process of that, so I'll give you a detailed answer probably after All-Star break. But you know, like I said before, it's probably just like the shock factor, right? Where you're like, oh, like I'm one of those guys, and then you kind of, I don't want to say pick up the pieces, but you know, you're just like, okay, I'm moving on. Where am I going, right? Because sometimes people get traded here, then they go somewhere else. So you find out where your final stop is, and in my situation, I gotta be careful saying this. Going from Cleveland to Atlanta, like Caris said today, we got off the plane and he was like, 65 and sunny ain't bad. You bring up a good point, Caris. So, obviously, Cleveland was great to us, but, you come into a warmer climate. So you definitely look for the small victories when you can.
That's actually gonna be a follow-up question. What are you guys looking forward to about being in the city of Atlanta?
Building relationships with the guys, growing as a team, obviously experiencing the city some too, trying to get into the playoffs. I think that's all three of our goals. I don't want to speak for them, but it's definitely one of my goals.
Yeah, playoffs. That's right. I mean, I think, all of us, like I said, have won at all different levels, and we're competitors. There's no just one thing. If we hang our hat on, I think it would be being winners.